spiritual? How can we say we are spiritual or loving beings when we say, mine is the only way? I mean, what a paradox is that? I remember once I had a long talk with a priest, because you know I'm very Catholic at heart too. I was brought up in a Catholic school, Hindu by religion, but now I love them all. And I can do without them all as well. It's both ways, you know. Because it is freedom. It is freedom because if love is everywhere, and we do know that, because all of us do know so deeply in our hearts, when we are in that place of non-judgment, peace, and quiet, we are well. We are simply well. And all the religions teach us of this unconditional love. You see, what drowns us is when we become conditional. And we carry all the anger with us. Or we carry all the blame with us. We give it to ourselves. And then we say God punishes us. We're so crazy. We carry guilt. We carry anger. We choose to. We carry the belief that we are not good enough. We insult God when we do that. That's how I feel. We insult the divine light in us when we allow ourselves to be treated like dirt. Love thy neighbor as thyself. I love that. Because you can't love your neighbor as yourself unless you love yourself. Do you want to close that window? It's really bothering you. You know, poor girl doesn't So all this happiness be unto all. So many people come to me. I see so many people come to me. Yes, everybody deserves to be happy. But you know, when I'm happy, it's not, it doesn't seem right. Why? Why? Does it make sense? Why don't you deserve to be happy? If you believe everybody else should be happy, aren't you part of everybody? If you are not happy, how are you going to be spiritual? How are you going to be spiritual? How are you going to transmit peace? Somebody comes to me the other day and says, I'm really spiritual. I said, really? What makes you so spiritual? You insult yourself. You allow harm to come to yourself. Because you allow harm to come to yourself, you allow harm to come to your family, because your family suffer because they see you are suffering. Oh, so you are spiritual. Tell me, what does spiritual mean to you? What does it mean to you? Easy to say, right? Where do you see spirituality? In
kind actions.
Kind actions. Good. More. Where do you see spirituality? You're getting it now. Where? Simply. Be simple. Don't complicate spiritual. Where do you see?
In generosity.
In generosity. Wonderful. Where else?
Genuine smiles.
Love.
Yes. Are you getting it? Genuine smiles. Somebody's smiling at me so genuine. Genuinely. Acceptance. Acceptance.
Compassion.
Compassion.
Forgiveness.
Wow, you're getting good words. Are you seeing how simple it is to be spiritual? And people think you have to be very intelligent to be spiritual. Please, I don't want any more smart people telling me that they are enlightened. Sorry, God forgive me. Enlightened human beings, and then trying to magnetize everybody to follow them. What's the point? If you are enlightened, you know everybody else is too. They just don't know it. Because if everything lives in the divine, right? Everything is divine. We read it everywhere. God is everywhere. In you, in me, in the mountains and the hills. Who is exempt? Who is exempt? The person who doesn't recognize it. Nobody's exempt. We make ourselves exempt. Why? Because we get carried away with this world. We think this world is all there is. We think relationships is all there is. We think money is all there is. We think homes are all there is. And we fool ourselves to believe that that's That's all there is. Until we get older, until we get aches and pains, until somebody hurts us so badly that we say, we don't want this anymore. Until we face suffering, until we face death, and then maybe we open our eyes, but make sure it's not too late. Just make sure it's not too late. Because you want to live this life so beautifully, so fully. And this is what I love about the spiritual practices. Buddha's four noble truths, there is suffering. Sri Patanjali in the Yoga Sutras say, to a man of discrimination, all the world is suffering. And my beautiful master, Sri Swami Satchidananda says, there is enough suffering, don't add more. Now that you know that your end is a dead end, that is mine. Dead end, the Pink Panther song, dead end, dead end. It's all going to be a dead end. It all is going to be a dead end. So why do we put so much focus on all this pettiness? And when you start to realize the truth, yes, it is going to be a dead end. So while I have been given this beautiful role in life, which I believe is the gift from the universe, a life to touch, to taste, to feel, but also to know that nothing is ours. Also to know they're all gifts. Good things and bad things. We seem to hold on to the both. We need to let go of it all. And that's the secret of spirituality. One day everything is good, great. Tomorrow everything is bad, good. So great. It is part of the play on life. But when we hold on to a bad thing, guilt, I have to hold on to, I'm meant to be miserable. Don't you know all spiritual people suffer? Correct it. Correction, please. You are wrong in your information. Yes, Lord Jesus was crucified on the cross, but what was his last words? My Father, forgive them. They know not what they are doing. Could a person who is really suffering even say those words? Ramakrishna, who was one of the greatest saints of the late 18th century, dying of cancer of the throat, and all his disciples says, you've done so much good. Why are you suffering these 2 years? You cannot even put water into your throat. And he goes, karma, it's my body. Don't you know the mother is everywhere, even in this? He wasn't suffering, so why are you suffering? I'm not. My mother, he called, for him, God was Mother Kali, the goddess, earth, creation. For him, it was goddess. It had to be a mother who was nurturing and loving, So he said, the mother has given me this. What's your problem? You're suffering, but I'm not. And that's the freedom. There is suffering. But spiritual knowledge gives you the ability to accept the things you cannot change. The courage to change the things you can. And the wisdom to know the difference. When to let go. When to hold on. You see, wrong and right are only notions in our own mind. Only notions in our own mind. Of course, we have to have no chaos in this world. We have to make certain judgments. This action is bad. We have to protect the people. So we punish this action. But we don't punish the sinner. We punish the sinner's mind for the negative action because they don't know better. They have not seen the God within themselves. When you can separate like that, you can make decisions very clearly. Very clearly. This is a wrong action, so I must attend to it, stay away from it, or attend to it and fix it. You won't sit there and say, oh, let the wrong action continue, let me be beaten to death, let me be insulted to death, I'm a spiritual person. What's the point? Two of you end up with negative karma for what reason? Is there peace anywhere? Is there peace happiness? Is there peace? Is there love? Is there God? What are you showing the world, this long face all day long? Are you bringing any joy to the world? You're not goodness. You are not spiritual for allowing that. What a lot of nonsense. If you're really spiritual, what will you spread? Who to you is spiritual? Mother Teresa. What does she spread? What does she spread? Answer the question. Love. Peace. Service. Swami Satchidananda. What does he spread? Strength. Determination. Strength. Courage. International wisdom. Truth is one path of many. Let us live in peace and joy. True wisdom. Those are the people you admire. Just think very clearly what spiritual is. Some people tell me, oh no, I want to meditate more. What's the point to meditate so much if you've got such a messy mind? You sit down and all you think is negative, negative, negative. What's the point? Learn to think positive first. When you are positive and when you're full of love, then you meditate, guess what? Magic happens. Magic. Really, it's magical. You know, and then even if you don't want to get up in the morning, you will be woken up in the morning. I'm woken up every day, whether I like it or not. Can I sleep a good 8 hours now? I can't. I'm not allowed. 6 hours is max, you know, and that's a lot for me. But I'm just saying, it's given to you. It works through you, the energy. You know, as St. Francis says, make me an instrument of your peace. So if we take all the mind stuff away, which is the study of the Yoga Sutras, which hopefully we'll be covering on Saturday morning, if you take away all that nonsense in your mind and you allow peace to settle in, then that energy will guide you to do the highest good for you and everyone. It will guide you. You don't have to think, I have to do this today. You know, people ask me, do you plan? Every day is changed. My plans get changed every single day. I don't really plan. Yes, I make appointments because otherwise I won't be seeing people. But planning as such, I make retreats, etc. But so, the day will take me. Because I have learned. You try to control life, like this has to happen at 4 o'clock, but never happens. It always gets broken. So you might as well accept anything can happen today and you'll never get disappointed. And you see how easy life feels when you become free and accept the things that can change. Why do we have to think that we're going to be stuck in misery all our lives? Who told you that? Who told you that? Who told you that? Who told you that? Ask yourself, why are you telling yourself that? The opportunities are plentiful. What does Lord Jesus say? The harvest is plenteous, the laborers are few. Because we're so lazy to work on ourselves. We work on the world. You should change. You need to change this habit. You need to change, and then I'll forgive you. You change, you change, you change, you change. And all the time you're going crazy wanting somebody else to change. Wrong way. Lord, give me the tranquility to accept the things I cannot change. Right. I need to know that I cannot change this. The courage to change the things I can. What can I change?
Myself.
Myself.
Your reaction.
Yes. And then the wisdom. I have the wisdom. It's my gift. Your gift is your life on earth. Your gift is your life on earth. With all the suffering and with all the joy. It makes a beautiful book. It makes a nice story. You can sit down with your grandchildren, as I do. Oh, you know, when we started the business, and you know, your dad, your granddad's uncle. You know, I was only 20, and I wasn't allowed to have a hot water bath. And when I used to turn the stove up, and he used to run up and say, "Nalanie, you're wasting electricity," and I used to cry. And the grandkids go, "And yeah, Gran, and what did you do?" You know, I have a story to tell. That's got some interest in it. But if I tell them, I lived a perfect life, everything went well, I have no story to tell. I have, you know. And now my grandkids, you know, when they go through something tough, you know, but Granny, You also went through hard times. Normal. No big deal. Do you see? You also went through, yeah, I did. Guess what? And I came up on top. It didn't defeat me. You know why? Because God lives in me. And for God, I have to be my best. It's easier to go into a corner, really it isn't, and say, poor me. But I did that for 13 years, you know. I went poor me syndrome. And it's not easy. It's actually horrible to do that. It's horrible to say, poor me, why did this happen to me? It's very, but don't do that to yourself. You're not poor. You know, and that's why I love the study of the Yoga Sutras of Sri Patanjali, because I learned, and through my master I learned, how dare I call myself poor? And as my master said to me in the church in Rwanda, he told me, how dare you call yourself a sinner? You are a child of God. And I tell you, ever since that day, my consciousness changed. And I hope that your consciousness will change if you believe that. None of us are really sinners. We make mistakes. Thank God we're human. We can be a little humble. When we make mistakes, it teaches humility. We accept other people's mistakes. You know, now I understand why I got this experience with this mistake, so I can understand somebody else. Simple things in life. You know, I got a frozen shoulder the last few months, and it's hard for me to sleep at night. Anyway, when I finally accepted that I had a frozen shoulder, and I finally decided I better go to the doctor because I really do need to sleep sometime. What happens? To the doctor, tells me what treatment, 10 physios, because you really need physiotherapy. Fine, no problem. The next morning, literally, I give a hatha yoga class in the center in Spain. And guess what? 3 people come to the class with the same problem as the shoulders. I thought that was really quite the God incident. I thought, oh, now I understand why I got the frozen shoulder. There are 3 people that are so lovely, you know. So I told them, oh, I know exactly what you have. It's probably the rotator cuff. Do you feel pain down here until your fingertips? Yes. And is it only really hurts at night and you can't move your arm? Yes, how did you know? Because I got it. And you know, I was so grateful for it. And I said, you know, I'm finding a physiotherapist, which I found. Somebody else from my class just said, oh, there's a good physiotherapist 5 minutes down the road for you. How lucky is that? So anyway, I told her what I did, what to do. I told her 3 people. In fact, can you remember I just sent them an email? Okay. Tomorrow, I'll forget. And I said, give you the name of the doctor. You have to do this, 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 this. And I thought, isn't God wonderful? Isn't life wonderful? It was a good reason to get it because I could understand really how bad it was because their face was cringed in pain. I said, what's wrong with you? And then they told me, how odd, isn't it odd? So you start to realize, you know, wow, this universe is full of fun. It teaches you things that you need to do. You know, it tells you what advice you have to give because that's my position at the moment, whether I like it or not. So I have the capability to help somebody else, you know, and I understand. And guess what? 1 physio treatment and I'm really good. This morning I had the 2nd one. So I'm looking forward to a good night's sleep. And that's the way life is, you know. No big deal. Nothing is a big deal. You know, nothing is a big deal. Really, it's only a big deal if you died, if you hadn't lived. Meaningfully. Then it's a big deal. That's the only big deal. And then it's your loss. You'll just come back, calm as the subject, and do it all. That was good. We never know what the subject is either because the gods decide. And let's see what they've decided with your questions. How do you overcome the fear of change after 20 years in a comfortable situation? If you are comfortable,
what's the change?
Yeah.
I think what they probably mean is without going out of their comfort zone.
is...
I don't know, that's not my question.
Okay.
That's my question. It's out of your comfort zone.
Oh, thank
I really
you.
want to be...
Thank you for being so honest. I love that.
There's
Thank
something on
you.
the back as well, I don't know whether it was part of it.
No, it's half the question.
I think what she means is maybe you're comfortable somewhere and you want to do something else, and why do you?
Yeah, she said comfort zone. Yeah. Oh, wow, that's a good one. Face it, change. And know that you will go through the fear. But you get yourself excited. Okay, I've been in a comfortable position for 20 years. That you should even ask this question means it's time to move on. Because life is an adventure. And by staying put, you are not progressing, you are not growing. Sometimes when you make a change, this new thing will come in your life. You never know what tomorrow brings, you know, and people who fear change never grow. Yeah, to be comfortable, comfortable, comfortable at the end of your life. My life was comfortable.
Which is good if you're happy in that comfort.
I was going to say that.
Which is fine also.
But the fact that we asked the question means there's already something starting to say.
Exactly what I said. Otherwise the question, if you were so comfortable and peaceful, you wouldn't want to change it. You wouldn't even have this question. The question comes to move some energy in your body, in your mind, in your life. So how I would overcome fear of change is by telling myself, if I don't do it, I'm going to stay in this spot for 20 more years, asking myself, in 20 years' time, I was saying to myself, why didn't I make the move? Because I still have the same dilemma 20 years later. 20 years later, I'm still asking the same question. That means it's like being on top of the bridge, on top of, a bridge. Should I go? Should I go? Should I cross? Shouldn't I cross? If you don't cross, you'll never know what's on the other side. And you'll stay there for 20 years. Everybody else has moved on. And that doesn't give you a feeling of fulfillment. So my advice would be, I don't really think you have a choice. I think you will be led to change. And fear will come in because it's new. Anything new brings on a little fear. But fear is not a bad thing. Fear is not a bad thing. Sometimes fear is like guarding yourself to be a little bit more careful. You know, we think of fear, I can't move on, I'm going to be frozen. Sometimes you need a little fear to be a little bit aware of where you're going, what you are doing. And then you have to face it anyway. And for anybody who is going through fear of change, there's a brilliant book out called, a long time ago, Face Your Fear and Do It Anyway.
Feel the fear and do it anyway.
Yeah, Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway, by Susan Jeffers. Feel the fear and do it anyway. So my advice to you is, take a deep breath, swallow, and change. And if you're fearful, call me. I'll just say, Om Shanti, it'll all be well. It will all be well. What are you fearing? Your biggest change will happen when you die. So learn to face the changes while you're alive. And then when your time comes to go, you will not be in fear. Otherwise, you will not let your body go in time. People who are fearful of change are normally, it creates a boomerang. You're fearful of illness, you're fearful of life itself, you know? And life is like water, you know? It's so free. You know, you get water, you pour water, it goes everywhere, right? It doesn't decide, it doesn't judge, it just flows everywhere. And life wants us to be free and flow everywhere. When we stop the flow, we don't feel good in ourselves. And like I said, because you've asked this question means you're actually knowing that you are stopping the flow and you need to move on, but you're comfortable. What can you do? Be a little uncomfortable. Be a little uncomfortable is not a bad thing. Thank you for bringing water. Somebody needs some water. I heard
Yes.
somebody coughing. Yeah. Thank you for your consideration.
Nalanie, can I add something quickly?
Please, you can.
Sometimes students who are doing A-levels, they've asked me, oh, I don't know what to do to go to university or not to go to university. And of course, a lot of it is probably fear-based. You know, you're leaving your family behind, going to a new country, maybe they've not even left Gibraltar, you know, their lives and so on. And what I usually advise them is to try it. Because it may work for them, it may not, but at least they've tried it. And that means that once they've gone through that experience, they will either love it and carry on with it, which is fantastic, and the change will be even more. But there is still change in trying it and deciding it's not for you. Because at least you've released
Absolutely.
that fear, you faced it, and you've released it and you've dealt with it, and then you can be satisfied that, you know,
Absolutely.
you've tried it.
Yes.
And you can never have regret.
Yeah, I tell people that a lot. You know, should I move? I say, move.
Hmm?
If it doesn't work, you can come back.
Yeah,
No
what's
big
the
deal.
change? No
What's the
big
big deal? What's the big deal? Or you'll find something else. You know, there are always greater places. I remember there was once a young lady here for years, maybe 5 years. She was really gifted with her therapy, with her hands, and she wanted to do a lot, and she was stuck in the financial world with her job. Should I move? I'm too comfortable. Should I move? I'm too comfortable. But then she was never happy. She was never at peace. And one day I just said to her, you know what? Why don't you just move? You know, and stop breaking your own head. You know, you're driving yourself crazy. It's about 5 years now. Just do it. I said, otherwise I'm not seeing her again. She did it. Guess what? She met her future partner there. She has a great life. She has children. She would have been stuck here, always going out with the wrong man, sorry, you know, but that's what she was doing here. And then she met the perfect partner for her. She hadn't moved, she wouldn't have found the perfect partner, you know? And she was worried because she got so comfortable here. So, sometimes you just don't know.
Comfort zone, sometimes it's like being stuck and not wanting to be all you can be, you know?
Yes. Yes.
Nalanie, I met, because we talk about young people and stuff, but I met an elderly lady. She was
Can you
almost,
all hear at the back?
Yeah.
she was almost 90, and she was selling her house, and I thought she was packing everything up to go back to Germany to kind of close her life, So I asked her, I said, oh, are you going back home? Da, da. She says, oh no, I'm going to South Africa. She says, I'm getting a bridge loan and I found another place I like in South Africa and I'm going to take some art classes over there.
Oh, that's great.
And I was thinking she's packing up like to close her life. You know? She's going to Australia. And she said, no, I'm going into my life is at 90 and we're sometimes stuck at 20, 30, 40, 50. And I was thinking, my God.
What a lesson, what a lesson, what a lesson.
What a lesson.
Yeah.
What a learning. Still a lesson. But it's fantastic.
Yes, it's
you know?
wonderful when you see it. You know, I watched my father, my uncle who's 90 as well, still doing business, running hotels, running this, doing so
Taking
much
risks.
charity, doing on the treadmill every morning. He's at, I don't know how many treatments, you know, for cancer, for this, for that. Every time up and back to work. Tonight he's doing a staff party in Hong Kong for all his staff. He's 90. He's been ill in hospital 3 times this year. Still serving his staff. And he went to Bangkok last month to serve the staff there. Went to Singapore. And you go, this is admirable. He's not saying, oh, you know, I've been sick. Because the day I die, the day I finish my work. I need to work. You know, what is life without work? God has given us this. And it's what keeps people going. It's what keeps people going. And here in the West, I must retire at 55. And do what? Play golf? Everybody I know that does that is miserable.
On the golf course.
They come to me, they're bored. You know, they're bored because, you know, as our master said, to live a good life, peaceful, it should be peaceful, it should be easeful, and it should be useful. And we all love to feel useful. Isn't it nice? Jyotish, please come up front and be more comfortable. The floor is cold. The floor is cold.
Do you want a cushion?
Yes, please, could you give him a cushion?
No, I'm fine with that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There you go.
easy in front of the camera, sorry. I think maybe just...
Oh.
Do you know what? So, if they don't see
No,
me,
it's okay.
no big deal. So, thank you. So, what were we saying about
Change.
Change. You know,
It's never late.
it's never too late. Never. You know, Grandma Moses was a great artist, and I believe she started she's very famous for art career after the age of 70 or 80. You know, you meet so many people, they really actually start their careers at 55, 56, and I get people who are 41 and say, I'm really getting old, really? I'd do anything to be 41. You have your whole life ahead of you. You know, you've got so much to look forward to. Who has made your life dull? You. Look out there, you know, travel. The world is so interesting. The people are so beautiful. I meet some of the most incredible human beings when I travel. You know, I see people who do so much good. Instead, I hear people all the time, I watch the news, there's so much bad in the world. I said, no, there's so much bad in the news. There's not so much bad in the world. I do not see so much bad in the world. I travel all over the world. I see a lot of pain in the world. I see a lot of unnecessary suffering that people create for themselves in the world. I see that. And I think that is the sorrow of our world, that when we can be happy, we choose to be miserable. Yes, sometimes bad things happen. They happen to everyone. Yes, people die. It happens to everyone. Yes, people get sick. It happens to everyone. Nobody is exempt. Yes, you get a bad, but to encourage bad things to happen to you because you think you're spiritual, that is ridiculous. There's enough suffering in the world, and that's where I think we are sick. I think we are sick in this world because we spread the virus of unhappiness. But I have met some beautiful souls who do so much good, so beautifully, with saying so little. They just get to it. They just get to it. They just do. They just do it. They just do it every single day of their lives. And they make people laugh around them. And they bring joy. And I think our only crime is that we bring misery to the world. I don't think we have that right. And the only way we can bring joy to the world is when we're joyful ourselves. So make this week, make everybody laugh week. All right? Make everybody laugh week. Just think of a joke. I'm really lousy at that much, you know. Me too. Think of a joke. Or just smile. You can, you know, people are so easy to make happy. So, and for me, that is spiritual. Yes, there are some times when you have to be sober, but there's enough of those given to us anyway by life. And we will be sober for those times. And there's some times that we have to be very quiet to really feel the genuine spirit within, the voice within, that sound within. And those are the times we need to be very, very quiet. And then you don't need anybody, you just need to be with your one very best friend in the world that never lets you down. Call it God, call it Jesus, call it Moses, call it what you like, it doesn't really matter. For me it's the Lord of love, because when I am in that silence, there's nothing but love there. This is silence. Such a kindness. Such a kindness. And I think we should spend more time in our lives looking for that kindness and that goodness and that peace, instead of wasting so much time trying to change things that we can't. When you find that stillness, that quiet, that peace, that unconditional love that is coming from the universe, you will get the strength to do what you need to do. You don't even have to really think, should I change or not? Should I move out of my comfort zone or not? It will move you. It will give you that change whether you like it or not. You don't even have to ask those questions anymore. It will do it when you are so totally quiet and willing to listen to that voice. Because that voice may be telling you to do something that you never thought in your life you would do. And you're too frightened to listen to that voice. And how many times have I heard that from people the last 20 years? How many times? You know, Nalanie, I really want to do this. What's stopping not make that time for you, who will? Who will? And I said, that's a cop-out anyway. You make time for your shower, for your games, for your computer, all the physical things that you're going to, it's going to dead end, dead end, dead end, dead end. Even your education, dead end. Even your degree, dead end. How many diplomas that you can have on the wall? You die, does it mean anything? Pretty diplomas. Oh, you're the family, the next generation. So many papers. Why we want to keep them? More rubbish. Burn the papers. You make yourself so important for what? And live a miserable life? What? So people say you're a good person? You know? Let's live to make everybody happy. Let's please the world. So I'm not going to do what I have to do. And one day you're pleasing the world. You have to do it this way. Okay, next day you have to do it this way. Okay. Oh, everybody's confusing me. Let me go to the fortune teller. The fortune teller. The fortune teller will fortune tell what's on your mind. Because that's the gift of the fortune teller mediumship. So he'll say all that's in your mind and we'll tell it back to you. Sometimes they're a little bit accurate, but I believe there is the best fortune teller in the world. And that transcends all the fortune tellers. And that's the fortune teller of your own heart when you connect with the highest source. And for me, my life, I have seen that to be the highest voice. And I will give you an example of this in my very own life so you can see very, very clearly. I know I've told this story before, but it's such a vibrant story that I hope it will make a mark in your life to trust that one which is higher than all. And again, it is to do with my husband's passing. People called me from abroad. Oh, my guru said, your husband is not meant to die. He's going to live. This is all, this cancer is going to go away. Stage 4, yes. Everybody telling me about their gurus and their teachers. And, he's going to live. But, and that was very disturbing. I'll be very truthful because I can see the truth in front of me. My job was to make my husband the most comfortable and the most peaceful. That was my focus. And he was going to be the most comfortable and most peaceful. But in order to do the job well, I have to know the truth. So doctors don't tell you the truth. Another doctor looks at me, oh, Nalanie, maybe you will enjoy Christmas. That means the truth, right? So anyway, so many people were telling me different things. And then suddenly on the 8th of December, I asked God, I want to know if my husband is going to live. I will force him to take all these alternative medicines, do all this kind of treatment. If he's not going to live, I will teach him how to die beautifully. Please guide me what is best for him. But I need a sign. I'm human, I said. I really need a sign. And I'm asking you for a bright, big butterfly. It has to be so bright that I can't miss the sign. Well, next day, it was 9th of December. I had to go down to where I was giving a talk in Spain to thank all the people there. The sangha was making me food every night so I could just nurse my husband and my family. They were making food because I told all my family to stay with me because they all needed closure with their dad or granddad, whatever. Stay with me. So obviously I didn't have time to nurse and cook. Some of my students very kindly brought food every day for me, so I thanked them for that. And then Shanti, Shanti, I keep saying it's you, brought me this parcel from Gibraltar. So I brought it home, and of course I ran home, and next morning I opened this parcel. Do you know what came out of that parcel? A butterfly this size, fuchsia color, full of sequences. One of my students in England, because I asked her later, she didn't know what she did for me, told me that she was passing the shop, and she said, I have to send Nalanie this butterfly. She's going to think I'm crazy. Why would Nalanie want a butterfly? Fuchsia with sequins. She told
Janaki?
me. Yeah, Janaki. She's coming this week to stay with me this weekend.
And obviously before you.
Yes,
for
before.
that.
So the
she got the
universe
sign
knew.
before.
Yes,
Was
before.
on the way already.
There was something already. The universe already knew
Knew
what
you
was
would
going on.
ask that question.
Yes, it was already given to me even before I asked. Right? Do you see what I'm saying? There's certain things, we're talking about karma, that are predestined, beyond man, the highest. And I got that butterfly. I was so grateful because I got my kids together. Here's the book, Tibetan Book of Living and Dying. Read the chapter on helping the dying. I want you to be the best nurses for your dad. Total closure. And I am going to focus on him. I don't have time for you to psychologically help you through this because I need to be with dad. So it gave me and I prepared my husband to die. It was beautiful. He died beautifully. I prepared him. He was ready. You know, they said that with stage 4 cancer, with his lungs so bad he was on oxygen, he would have a terrible death. He didn't. There was nothing. They say he would gasp, and because I asked the doctor, once I knew, I asked all the questions I needed to ask. None of that. Just one deep sigh. Lifted his hand as if to say goodbye. And gone. I'm gone. So you see, I believe there is I don't believe, I know. I know. And I learned one thing, that really from this, when you are so dedicated to whatever has to be done at that moment, the best for the person concerned, not for you. You can't think about you at that time, not because you don't want to, but forget about the self-pity. He's going through the suffering. He's leaving the body. That is really important. And you put yourself aside, and you have quiet time, because I spent all night looking after him and praying. You get all your answers. So like I do that, everybody, you know, what did I say? None of us are exempt. We all have this wonderful gift to communicate with the highest. You know? So for me, when anybody tells me this person tells you this, yes, I listen one ear, out the other ear. I only listen to that one. I only have one master. And that voice talks to me here. And if the whole world should think I'm wrong and that master tells me I'm right, sorry world, you'll be disappointed with me. Throw me down the pedestal. I'm really happy about that. Understood that? And all of us should feel the same. Why? Because it gives you wings to fly to your highest good. All I ask of people is, when you pray, as I said yesterday, please, when you pray for help, pray for one thing. Don't say, I want this, because what you want may not be good for you. I could have said, I want my husband's life to be prolonged, and it would have been prolonged. But would it have been any good for him? He hated being in the bed. He said that was his worst thing. When I told him it was my honor to look after him, he said, I don't want that honor. See? He would have just been suffering for what? Because I wanted to stay? Because I am fearful of being alone? Because I loved him? How selfish is that? Do you see, we get so selfish. Even in our fears, we get selfish. And that's what throws us off. That's what throws us off. And that's what makes us lose our guard, this selfishness. What about me? So what? Big deal. Who are you? Look up in the universe. Not even a speck on the ground. We give ourselves too much self-importance in life. And yet, at the same moment, we are nothing. But yet in this body, we have everything. Do you understand now the paradox? Because it is only in this body that you can communicate with that highest energy, that great energy we call God. And the road there is all those things you said earlier on. Kindness, generosity. Please don't talk about it. I'm so tired of people telling me how kind they are. What do they do for anybody else that's kind? What do they do for themselves that is kind? Are you kind to yourself? Are you kind to life? Are you kind to the animals? Are you kind to the trees? Are you kind? Don't tell me you are kind because you take battering, because that to me doesn't run true. You're not kind to yourself nor anybody. Are you kind? And that will be your answer. That is your road. Are you generous? Do you share? Do you share what you have? Do you share your home? Do you share your food? Do you share? Or do you think this is my home, my time? Do you share? Do you allow people in when they cry? Or are you too busy? These are questions you ask yourself. You can spend a whole lifetime being busy. Doing what? No time to communicate. So my advice is spend more time in quiet. Get used to hearing that voice within you. That great voice. That great voice. And sometimes it's so scary, but it's your best friend. Because nobody knows you better than that best friend. Nobody does. So get to learn to be with your best friend more often. And you'll find your life will take on a different road, because I really know that the best is meant for all of us. But sometimes we follow our worst. What can we do? We're human. And this one just says, staying in the moment. So we'll do that. If you all just keep your spine erect. And we will now practice what we call mindfulness in Buddhism, or awareness, or consciousness. All the different languages call it different things. Or prayer, or contemplation, all these funny words to mean one thing. So we will practice the moment, staying in the moment. So if you just close your eyes, and just breathe in. And just breathe out. And as you breathe in, repeat the words silently in your mind. So, like so. And as you breathe out, the word straight at the yantra through me and at the yantra, and try and stare at that red dot in the middle. For those who can't, just look straight ahead of you. And just look at that. Just look at one thing in front of you and focus. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Breathe out. And now I'd like you to be aware of your very own body. Your body. Be aware of your feet, your ankles, your legs, thighs, your buttocks, your hips, your abdomen, solar plexus. Be aware of your heart. I'd like you to just listen to your heartbeat. And ask yourself, who is it that's making the heart beat? What is it that causes the heart to beat? And now bring the focus up to your nostrils. Take a deep breath. Feel the cool air go in your body. Feel it, feel it, feel it. And as you exhale, just feel the warm air come out of the body. And now focus on your ears. And do nothing but listen to all the different sounds. Just listen. Now bring the attention back to yourself and look at yourself as if you're looking at another human being. Just look at yourself. Ask yourself, am I a nice person? Be honest, please. Ask yourself, do I smile or do I have a long face? Do I look happy or do I look sad? Where am I? Who am I? Who am I? What is my place on this earth? If there is a plan for me that can fill and better all life, let it be done. May it work to my highest good and the highest good for all those around me. Bless me that I could be the best I can, and the best for this world and all those around me. Let me bring peace wherever I walk, laughter wherever I am, How does that feel in your heart when you say those words? How does it feel? How does anger feel when you allow it to be in your heart? How does sadness feel? Touch it. Know each emotion as you go through each one of them. Don't be afraid of them. Watch the good, watch the bad, and let them all go. But don't be afraid of who you are. Take a deep breath. And at this very moment, you're at the Youth Center, Gibraltar, 33-pound range. Open your eyes. Welcome. Welcome. At this moment, it's peaceful. And that's staying in the moment. And when you can't be peaceful in this moment, then there's a lot of work you need to do with your mind, and a lot you need to do with yourself. Make yourself strong. If you can't have any focus or attention span, it means there's a lot of stuff going on here. The first step is to make it all positive. That's the first step. And see why all this sorrow is going on there. What's causing it. That's the psychological step. And then when you've conquered that, the next step naturally will be spiritual. But know, as the Bhagavad Gita says, before you can battle anything in life, you have to know, as Gurudev told me, that you are a child of God and the universe. You are that. And on those premises, walk on this earth. Because you deserve the best. So does everybody. It's just that our ideas of the best sometimes are so limited. Because we don't see the bigger plan. Neither do we understand it. And we want to control our lives to be the way we would like it to be. And sometimes it just can't be the way we would like it to be. And that's the acceptance. It just can't be. What can I say? I'd love my husband to be alive, but it just can't be. It just can't be. What can we do? So you make the most of what there is, what God gives you, whatever God sends your way, with joy, instead of guilt and this. You take whatever God gives you and say thank you, thank you, thank you. I never thought I could laugh again. Thank you. And you just keep doing that. And look at every new day as a new beginning, because that is what it is, that we are even given the next day to live, is wow. We waste so much time complaining. What a waste. That's not being in the moment. And you know, even when you're angry at something and you're in that moment, when you feel that anger, when you allow yourself to be in the moment, I'm really angry, even if you're in that moment, and you're in that moment, you will hate that feeling of anger, and you will dissolve it because you know you are in that moment, and it doesn't feel right. But you can only do that if you keep practice being in nice, strong moments to build your spiritual strength. And that's what we are not doing today in our lives. We are not taking the time to build our spiritual strength. It's the only thing that the world is lacking. Yes, many people praying. We're praying for what they want. I want, I want, I want, I want, I want, I want. That's why it's so nice and appropriate that you started the session with Om Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu, auspiciousness be unto all, perfect peace be unto all, fullness be unto all, prosperity be unto all, happiness be unto all, perfect health be unto all, may all be good, May all see good in everyone. May all be free from suffering. This is an old yogic chant from how many thousands of years. Look at the chant. They understood the truth. Look at St. Francis. Make me a channel of your peace. Where there is darkness, let me bring light. Where there is sorrow, joy. That's the secret. All the time, they're the secret ingredients for living a good life. It doesn't say, oh, sorrow's coming, take it away, take it away, take it away. Bring joy. This darkness, I'm in such a dark place, I can't get out. Bring light. Only you can bring the light. Don't expect the world to save you. Why should they? They're too busy. Save yourself. Save yourself. Don't be a weak and poor me, poor me, poor me. Too many people poor. You're not poor. You are rich. You are so rich. You have 2 hands. You have legs, eyes, nose, mouth. Guess what? You have more than that. You have an individual personality that nobody else in this world has. There's only one of a kind. One of you in this world. And you're going to waste your time let it fall apart. You don't have that right. It belongs to the divine. Your life on earth is a gift of God. It's a gift of the universe. It's a gift, full stop. It's not yours anyway. You're going to die. Your name is not even chosen by you. What is yours? Why do you make so much fuss about things getting lost or a relationship getting broken or this one or that one or this one or this is this and this one is going with this one? What a lot of fuss about that. Just make yourself peaceful. Why bother with all that stuff? What does it matter in the long run? Let people live. Live yourself. Live yourself. Can you make yourself live? How do you live? When do you feel the fullest? Yeah. When you help out a friend who's in need and she feels she's so welcome that she's not alone in this dark world. Because that's what your friend told me today. It's nothing like a good friend in a dark world, and yet when we're in a dark place, we isolate ourselves and hide ourselves. We don't want to let people see our bad side. Why? Let them see it. Because if they can see it, you can see it. Recognize it in you first. Okay, I have a dark side, let me lighten up. Where there is darkness, let me bring light. Don't hide it, it'll get darker. You become more isolated. Nobody wants to be around darkness. Everybody wants to be around light. So become light. So are you understanding what spiritual means? And then we can talk about karma. What is karma? As you sow, you reap. You sow, you reap. What a generous gift God gave us. We can choose which way we want to reap. The harvest is plentiful, plentiful, plentiful. Laborers are few. We're too busy collecting stuff that has a dead end, dead end.
If you plant potatoes, you're getting potatoes.
Yes, exactly. You don't plant potatoes and hope to get green beans. So it is exactly like that. It is like that. And this is how we, 722. 22 is our master's number. So I was just looking at 22. It keeps coming up in my life everywhere.
722.
Pardon?
It's 722.
Yeah, that's right. Master number. So, but I'm not an expert with numbers, and numbers tell us a lot because the universe is actually very scientifically designed. This is why I know there is some kind of creator, because it's designed so perfectly with the expert is sitting here. Shanti is great with numbers. If you ever want to know about numbers, about your life numbers, she's really good. She's getting better with every passing day. And she can tell you a little bit about your personality and what you have to work at, which is not a bad thing. She tells you have to work at this. Good, I like that kind of advice. It's not fortune telling. Oh, your weakness is this, or your strengths are this. Work at it. Transcend it. We are here on this earth to transcend our weaknesses, not to wallow away in them. The reason why we have suffering is to take us beyond it. not to sit in it and sit in the mud and keep complaining, my life is miserable. Get yourself up or you drown yourself. Choice is ours. And we choose to drown ourselves, okay, we have plenty of chances. Next life, do it again, and do it again, and do it again. Until one day you'll say, I don't want to do this anymore, I'm tired. I want to be a bit more smart this time. I want to find the truth. I want to look for something more meaningful. I want to leave this earth and feel I've left joy behind. Don't you all want to do that? I don't think one person I've really met in my life, no matter how bad they tell me they are, has not wanted to leave something good behind. Even the criminal wants to look after his family. Even the murderer wants to look after the people he loves. Oh, I'm murdering because I can steal this one, this, and give it to my family. Do you see? It's only a warped mind that they do it the wrong way. And then when you, after you understand all these things, then you start to learn the real meaning of life, and that it's a dramatic play. As Shakespeare says, life is but a stage, and we are but actors and actresses of it. So how do you want to play your part? Some people are given big canvases and they do ugly paintings. And some people are given small canvases and they do brilliant paintings. It doesn't matter the size of your canvas, it's what you put in it. Really, what you put in it, and what you put in it is how you live your life. So on that note, I will finish the talk, because if I start on karma now, we'll never And maybe, I don't know, what subject do we have next week? Don't worry, whatever comes. It'll be,
I mean, if you want the karma, we can do karma again, doesn't matter.
But in that explaining of how kindness, etc., that brings is what you're sowing and reaping, etc. So it's karma, isn't it?
Yeah. Actually, keep spirituality very simple. My advice to you is don't complicate it. Simply, as all the greatest masters say, do good, be good, spend some time in quiet, enjoy your spirit while you're in the body, because that kind of bliss you won't get with anything else. No person, no place, no party, no material thing can give you that peace except that time and bliss and quiet. And you can enjoy that while you're alive, not when you're